Can I help you? No, I wasn't sleeping. No. I was doing a Stevie Wonder impression. Yeah. Very superstitious. Writings on the... Okay, I was resting my eyes, okay. But, I was watching a ASMR video. You know, those that do that to you. Anyways, you ready to check out? Okay, cool. Let me see your library card. Never leave the house without one of these. Okay, let's see what you have. Whoa. Typically, we only allow patrons to take out 6 books at a time. But you know, I'll make an exception this time, okay? Alright. Okay, let's see what you have. Oh, a lot of books. This is a good book. Your Brain on Food. Apologies, I'm a bit of a nosy librarian. I like to see what everybody's reading. Plus, I pretty much have read every book in the library, so I can tell you what's good or bad, alright? But this one right here, good book. Your Brain on Food. How chemicals controls your thoughts and feelings. Hey, I've always had the opinion it's something in the food that's making these people out here, you know, a little cuckoo. But when I read this book, this was actually the first time that I found out that we actually have cannabinoid receptors in our brain. Cannabis, basically. But other than that, the importance of GABA, things that you find in foods that have an impact on how we feel. And in doing so, you know, it talks about psychotropic drugs and how the amount of nutrients and the lack thereof can, again, like I say, affect how we think and feel. So it's a really good book if you're into like neuropsychology and stuff like that. Parles du français? Un peu. If you're learning French, looks like you're learning a little bit of French. Always gotta have a French and English dictionary on hand. You know, this is a good reference book. You know, this will help you increase your vocabulary. Anytime you're learning a new language, you want to increase your vocabulary. Plus, you know, I love the thin pages on books like these, because they're so hefty. The pages are real thin, so it's a good book to have. A classic. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. If I remember correctly, it's been a while since I read this book, but it's been on a lot of people's bestsellers list for many decades. But the author, Napoleon Hill, did research and followed and shadowed a group of wealthy individuals at that time, and he observed what the things they did, the habits they had to create their wealthy mentality, quote unquote. And he also talks about not just wealth as in material wealth, although it kind of mostly focuses on that, but it can be applied to just increasing spiritual wealth, physical health as our wealth, or our social lives, and all those different types of things. I mean, just open the book is filled. Like, I took this book and I marked it all up, and then I returned it back. Don't tell anybody. All right, but you just open up, it's just filled with amazing quotes. You can do it. It's been done before. The moment you put it in writing, the statement of your desire and a plan for its realization, you have actually taken the first of a series of steps that will enable you to convert the thought into its physical counterpart. That's always going to be applicable. Great book. we have on a hardcover, The Heart of a Volunteer. I always felt that volunteering is good for the soul. And this is a great book of quotes about volunteering. It says on the back, which is a good explanation of the book, there is nothing stronger than the heart of a volunteer. With it beats the spirit of service, generosity, compassion, and the health and well-being of our community, our country, and our world. Couldn't agree more. This is a good book to have on hand, good coffee table book, but of course you can't keep it. It's a library book, you have to return it. But I love that hardcover sound. Next we have Dr. Furman's Nutrition Handbook, an Andy Food Scoring Guide. It's a book, it's a complete guide for weight loss, permanent weight loss, and superior health. Basically, it's an encyclopedia of whole foods and their nutritional content. A lot of times, we focus on counting calories and things like that, but, whole foods, whole vegetables, whole fruit offer so much nutritional benefits. And we can judge our wealth, or our health, I should say, not only by the pounds on the scale, but how much nutrition, macronutrients and micronutrients that we're taking on a daily basis. And this guy right here, he has a food scale, and for instance, spinach pasta, 1 cup cooked, so it has 180 calories, 20 milligrams of sodium, and on his index, it's a 24 out of, I believe, I forgot, I haven't read it in a while, but read this and you'll be on your way to not only permanent weight loss, which I can tell that you're, on that path, but you can do it, and this is a good start. Oldie but goodie. Dictionary of Problem Words and Expressions. This is a great book for those wanting to increase their vocabulary, and it's another hardcover book. Old school hardcover sounds. You can get it nowhere else. Ebooks do not offer this. But it helps eliminate very cliche words and expressions. Helps you sound more intelligent, be more intelligent, and eliminate words that we use all the time. So I've read this book many times, and I can tell you, after I read this book, my vocabulary has become really, really better. That was a joke. Oh, this is my favorite, The Heart Math Solution. In my opinion, this book should be required reading in it's early as high school, if not elementary school. On the front it says, improves, immediately lowers stress hormones like DHEA, or raise anti-aging DHEA hormone levels, improve your heart rate for maximum longevity, maintain emotional clarity in the midst of chaos. God knows we all could use that, and achieve peak mental and intuitive performance. I think, in my humble opinion, breathing is one of our most powerful tools that we have to create, to eliminate and decrease stress in any moment, right? So this book uses a technique that, in brief, allows you to lower your heart rate and therefore decrease your stress levels. And if I remember correctly, it's basically imagining breathing through your chest. So imagine it like you're inhaling, but you're taking in air from the chest area. And there's literally a nerve, right? I think it's the vagus nerve that connects our brain to our heart, which allows us to decrease our heart rate if we're in a stressful situation. So if you're at work and Jenny is getting on your last nerves at HR, just inhale. please return this book. People have taken this book out and never returned it because it's that good. Oh, you're getting your spirituality on. I like it. This is Living with the Devil. And if I remember correctly, this is a book that gives a Buddhist or an interpretation of Buddhist teachings or an interpretation of the devil through the lens of Buddhism. And this book has been a reference for me. You know, if you come to the library and this book isn't in stock, it's probably because I have it at home. But it talks about a meditation on good and evil. And how, just in a nutshell, a lot of our struggles in life are centered around not being able to live in the present, being enamored with the future, and being stuck in the past. Therefore, we end up going in circles in life and not really moving forward. And kind of summons life as a path. And not to get too, Sedona on you, but, in my life, I've had the experience of going in circles, and it kind of expresses that as, quote-unquote, the devil. So if we can stay on a path, if we can stay in the present moment, our life can go much smoother, much easier, and we can be so much more at peace. 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 And who wouldn't want that? Oh, okay. So you're going all across the spiritual diaspora. I like it. Finding the soul path. Finding soul on the path of the Orisha. This is a West African spiritual tradition from the Yoruba, West African, Nigeria. This is written by a priestess, and in a nutshell, there's so many deities in this Yoruba tradition, but they can help us to find our soul, find ourselves through what can be summarized as the elements: water, wind, the earth, right? And these different orishas help us on that path, and it's all connected through our ancestors. So in African traditions, particularly in Yoruba traditions, there's a focus on praising of the ancestors, keeping the spirit of our ancestors, whether it be our parents, our grandparents, those who come before us, our great-great-grandparents, keeping their spirit alive and helping their spirit to guide us in our lives, because they set the path for us to be here. This book is very dear to my heart, so I'm glad that you're taking it out. What else you have here? Depression and natural medicine. I can't talk with gum in my mouth. Sorry. While there's no substitution for talking to someone, there's a lot of supplements and a lot of things that we could do and take. Light therapy, aromatherapy, herbs and supplements that can help alleviate the symptoms of depression, such as tiredness, fatigue, feeling the lack of vitality, all these different things. And a lot of times, things such as low blood pressure, lack of exercise, lack of movement, high blood sugar, lack of certain vitamins like B vitamins can really send us on this path of perpetual depression. And medicine, which is nature offers so much of, can help us along with psychotherapy, and as well as psychotherapy can assist us on improving our mental health. So what a great book. This is a nutrition nutritional approach to depression and mood swings. And if you look around, like, this world is full of people. This world doesn't really aid, especially in America, natural health, homeopathic health. So, great book. Next off, we have Healing, Walking the Tiger. Healing Trauma. This is like an old book a lot of therapists use. It's about dealing with trauma. A lot of people deal with trauma. It's normal. But some people deal with trauma just naturally and different ways than others. Some people handle trauma a lot harder than some other people. So when something traumatic happens in our life, it gets stuck in a certain area of our brain that's on constant repeat. So, like, it's the metaphor tiger. So we have to learn how to go back into our brain and process those events, those traumatic events, and allow them to not forget them, but to process a place in our mind where the brain is not trying to constantly rewire and relive that traumatic experience. So this is a good book that'll help you do that. And last off, we have Our Stolen Future. Are we threatening our fertility, intelligence, and survival? A scientific discovery. It's been a while since I read this book. But on the back it says, over 30 years ago, Rachel Carson's Silent Spring first warned us about man-made chemicals were taking a deadly toll on birds and wildlife. Only now, however, are we fully recognizing the consequential of this threat, derailing sexual development and reproduction, not only in a host of animals, but humans as well. Well, there you have it. I know here in the United States, we put all types of craziness in our food and in our farming system. God knows what's happening, what kind of effect it's having on us in real life, but hey, if it's based on science, it's worth a read. So there we have it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,